Oh, okay, so it's live, but
Well,
hello everybody and welcome to Guitar Talk tonight. We've got some amazing people with us. We've got Marcel Yamounni and Joe Yamounni.
hey,
So
guys.
amazing guys in the industry. But before we start the show, we're actually going to play one of the songs off Marcel's album. What song are we playing, Marcel?
Pino, what song are we playing? Did we decide?
We're playing New Beginning.
New Beginning.
Ah, yes.
Track 4.
Yeah, great track.
There you go.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Well, thank you.
So now I've got to ask you,
Yeah.
the instrumentation that's being played, who was playing?
It's pretty. It's a short list. It's just me. no, and Johnny Salerno on drums.
Johnny's awesome.
The incredible Johnny Salerno.
Yeah.
Salty.
Salty.
Yeah, no, the best, really.
Yeah.
He pretty much set the benchmark for the entire recording, especially this track. Like when he came in and played it, the original version of this was 15 BPM slower, and I heard Will Kennedy play with the Yellow Jackets on one of those modern drummer videos. Pino, you know which one I'm talking about, and they had a similar kind of track.
Yeah.
And I just went, oh, you know what? I gotta bump it up a little bit. It's gotta. And Johnny nearly killed me that day that I asked him, so I pretty much sprung it on him. And I think that was like the third take, start to finish, no editing, That guy doesn't need to be edited. He's
No.
incredible.
He's a machine.
Yeah, he's a walking Mitchell.
He's a machine with feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That drum fill he put in there was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was working on, is it linear stuff? Is that what it's called? That kind of.
Yep.
I think he was working with Darren Ferrugia, funnily enough, and then he came up with that on his own accord. And yeah, man, what a vibe!
Amazing.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Now you can call us on 0412 376 848. That's 0412 376 848, and you can ask the boys any questions you like. So now we've got Marcel, who's doing a lot of stuff in the studio.
Yep.
And live work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're going to find out info about what you're doing.
Sure.
Right. And then we've got Joe here. Now, Joe, you blew me away before when you were telling me about we had a pizza before coming in, and
Of course,
Pizza too.
absolutely, it was a good pizza, wasn't it? Melrose Pizza.
Yep. Yes.
We should give him a
for
plug.
Melrose,
Yeah. Anyway, that was amazing what you were telling me, because I always thought of you as being a guitar tech.
Well, yeah, a lot of people do.
always being the guitar tech,
Yeah.
but never knew you being a muso. You know.
No, that's where it all started for me many years ago. And,
Well, he taught me how to play. So
yeah,
yeah,
he was
like
a young kid,
in the early days, like he was getting lessons, and then I was getting it by second hand.
So what's the age gap between the two of you?
13 years old. I'm older.
13. Okay.
Actually, he's old. No, I'm older.
Yeah.
But
No
he's,
one will
he's
believe
older
that.
in mind.
Yeah. Okay.
He's been, it's all good. Oh, hey, Rodney Bainey. Hello, Rodney.
Bainey. Hi, cuz.
Good to see you here, mate. Hope the family's well. And we'll play a little song later, hopefully.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe give us some football inside info later. Yeah.
Call in, Rodney.
We're getting out to the people.
Yeah.
We're getting out to people. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
Getting out to family.
Yeah. So yeah, look, it's been a rebirth for me, so to speak. I mean, I've enjoyed touring with immense number of bands, and being the stage guy, being the guitar tech, and working in retail where we met.
Yep, absolutely.
And then one day I decided I'd try something on my own. And a dear friend and part of the family now, Mr. George Mialis. Hope you're listening, George, from the great GM Sound out in Campbellfield, offered me a room, and the rest is history.
He's a good man.
And he's become part of our family. We've become part of his, and I love going down there. It's a great bunch of characters. It's a great tight-knit community. We're all looking out for each other. And I'm, as you are, we're establishing ourselves out there and trying to give as much back as we can to people.
Yep.
So now that I'm able to play music again, we decided we'll have a shot at it, and we're at the early stages, but it's exciting.
We've done a handful of gigs so far, like just acoustic. So I do all the. Right now, it's I'm just getting back into singing, yeah, I'm doing all the, like, I've got the loop pedal set up with the bass.
Speaking of singing, do you reckon we can get a tune out later?
Yeah, look, hopefully, yeah, why not?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, why not?
I've got this thing strapped on me.
I think Pino plays drums. I think it'll be really good. Great little setup here, guys, by the way. It's fantastic.
We're every week there's something new.
Actually, can I mention something, guys?
Yeah, mate.
Will can't afford my rates to play the drums on the show.
Is that what it is?
That's why we haven't been working together all these years. Actually, just to go back a little bit, how far back are we talking, Pino? Like late 90s, right?
Wow.
It's 20,
you're
nearly
talking
20
about
years.
days?
Yeah, Il Ciccios.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I learned how to play all the Italian songs, like Guarda and what were the other ones?
Italiano?
No, what was our favourite, Marcel? Marcel, wasn't it the American Hawaiian that we used to have?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's most of the weight that I put on in my adult life is due to Ciccios. It started off as, like a meal each, and then a meal with a pizza in the middle, then a meal with a pizza each, then a meal with a pizza each, and dessert. No wonder we, caked on the kilos. I'm working on it now. I'm trying to.
They were pretty great days, Dave.
They were good fun. Days. We had a lot of laughs with the Aliano boys and Rob Secchi and many special guests. I think in that band I played every instrument, and I even sang one night when Joe, the singer, had to get rushed to hospital. He wasn't well, and they took him to hospital, and we called Jimmy Couples, who was in Seaford, So Seaford to Campbellfield. So however long that trip from Seaford to Campbellfield, I had to sing, the first set.
Was it
and
before,
I'd never sung in front of humans
before the ring road being done?
Oh, way before.
Way before. So it would have taken him yonks to get
Oh,
it.
no, actually. Oh, yeah, no, it was. Yeah, sorry. Yes, yeah.
Oh, that would have taken him hours.
It would have taken him. It did. It took it. But he got there and he rocked it and it was great and we were grateful. And Joe's fine. And hello, Joe, if you're out there. Oh, Mark DeFabio, that's another cousin.
Hey, Mark. Good to see you, buddy.
Mr. Shembry.
I hope you got your cars back, mate. I heard he had a couple of cars stolen. One of them was a Mustang. So
no, it was a
Commodore VL and a Mustang.
Oh, right, yeah, right.
I hope you got him back, Mark. Anyway, good to see you, my friend.
Hello, Mr. Shembry. Was it 2 champions and Wilbur? 3 champions. Thank you very much.
I met Aaron. We were doing this Elvis show with Pino. Pino was on drums. Remember that Elvis show? That was a fun gig.
How can I forget?
It got to the point where can I tell them about the way we were communicating with it?
Sure.
Okay. It got to the point where Pino couldn't hack the singer, the main guy who was putting the show on.
It's known to happen.
So anyway, we got to this point where the singer would walk up to me in rehearsals and he would say, Will, could you ask Pino to... And the thing is, Pino was sitting right next to me on the drums and he would sit there and go, Will, could you ask Pino if he could play that fill? Because this guy was a drummer who became a singer.
Right.
So you put the two of them together and what do you get, And so he was a nightmare for Pino. He's telling Pino how to play all of the drummer, and Pino's sitting there going, mate, I'm going to kill you. So, yeah, and it was just funny because it was a 30-piece band, and it was awesome. Yeah.
Serious.
So, yeah, I can't say that on air, Pino.
You're going to have to all use your imagination.
He was a hard man to live, that's for sure.
So, hey, back onto GM and you, right?
Okay, so a couple of years ago, I just recently had the second birthday that we've been open. George gave me one of the rehearsal rooms and basically said turn it into a shop. And basically what it is, it's a repair area. And because I've been doing it for so long, I've managed to harness people that I like working with that are in the same industry as me and farm out work that I can't physically do there. So the bigger jobs go out to my best friend and so on and so on.
Yep.
And it works well.
Keeping it in the clique.
Yeah, we're trying to keep all our mates in.
Shout out to Jason Fazio.
Jason Fazio, JLF Guitars. He does all my major work.
He actually builds incredible guitars too.
Fantastic.
I think we should get him on.
Yeah, you should.
Jason, are you there?
Jason?
Contact us, Jason.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll get your number off the boys.
Yep. Good idea.
I'll get you on.
Good idea.
If you're making guitars, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. He's built.
After all, we are Guitar Talk.
Exactly.
And he's into it. Yeah. So George has been, gracious enough to allow me to do my thing. I've brought in my clientele in there, and as a result, his clients are now starting to feel comfortable to get stuff done, and it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
They come in for rehearsals. Something happens. They come in, oh, man, you've got batteries? Yeah. Do you sell earplugs? Yeah, I do. Have you got any spare strings? Yeah, there's a whole wall there, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
And occasionally they'll drop off.
You also brought in a whole bunch of your stuff from home, like stuff that was, cluttering up the drum room, if you will. I've got a drum room as well, But now it's a little bit more empty.
Is that the drum room with the ice bell?
The ice bell from many, many years ago.
Yeah, the ice bell, yes. Very famous ice bell.
We swapped cymbals. I never use it, mind you, but it's nice to have.
So, we've been getting involved with the stuff that GM does. They have jam nights. I think
first Thursday of every month,
which is called Fake Friday. Chrissy Gatz is there with the studio. So there's been a lot of spill from there.
Great engineer.
Tequila Mockingbird, the She-Wolf Girls. They've been coming in and seeing me, and that's work I never would have got. So that's been filtering through the studio. Suburban Prophets, the guitarists from there, and the list goes on. So it's been great, but we've brought our crowd in there as well.
Yeah.
It's taken a bit of time, and it's slowly but surely.
It's a great place to hang.
Yeah.
Even if you got no agenda, just rock up. You're a bit bored one night. You don't want to look at the TV. You can come down, hang out.
Yeah, it's a good bunch of characters down there.
Now, before that, you were working from home.
for a little while, and before that I was in retail.
Yeah.
That's what prompted me to sort of go and
You saw the hole.
Well, yes. I mean, you know, I was doing this stuff for retailers, and the retailers didn't want to go to that next level.
Yeah.
I always believe that
Yeah.
if a retail shop set up a really good service centre,
Exactly.
they would do okay. But, you know,
Yeah.
it's all about selling guitars, and we got 50 red ones this month. We got to sell red guitars and nothing else, you know.
Yeah.
Did they go faster?
They went faster, yeah. But, you know, Mum's coming in with her daughter to buy a yellow nylon string and walk out with a red guitar. You know? So when I started seeing that, I thought, nah, this is not for me, you know. And now retailers are actually wholesalers.
Well, we go even further back than that.
Yeah,
Obviously.
we go way back.
Well, with Will
Main
in particular.
Street music.
Yes.
Yes.
I was about to say, you used to do all
Because
our
I
brass
used to
and
do all the
woodwind.
brass and woodwind repairs for you guys with,
Right.
with Main Street.
Right.
And
They
that
were
was,
the good old days.
they
too.
were
That
fun
was when
days.
it was good.
They were very
They
fun.
were fun days.
Sadly, Tony passed away
Yeah. Yeah.
not long
He was
ago.
an awesome bloke.
Awesome
Yeah.
bloke. Great
Yeah.
for the community. He was such a
Yeah.
community guy.
People's
And,
person.
He
Really,
was
really,
also,
really
also our biggest influence.
Yeah.
well, he started it
He
for us.
started it
He
for
was
us.
the guy that when we were kids, he'd have the guitar and he'd be singing Elvis songs, and
Yeah.
there's another Elvis connection. There you go.
Yeah.
And Roy Orbison and anything great from that era. And it's funny, his couple of his kids are very talented in the music as well. Lee, if you
Yeah.
remember Lee,
Yeah, Lee. Yeah.
you know, like he's an incredible guitarist and bass player and singer. We went and watched him a couple of weeks ago with our doctor, Dr. Rick. He had a duo going. Lee, you know, jumped in, played bass, and sang all these
Oh,
Beatles,
my God.
Bee Gees, like literally impersonating
Barry
Gibb. And it was like at the start I was laughing because I was like, this is hilarious because he sounds so much like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I was like, kind of thinking, this is actually really amazing. Like,
He's holding it.
but the thing
he's
is, he
cutting
doesn't
it like-
practice.
yeah.
It's
He's a
not like I
talent.
have to practice. If I don't practice, like if I don't play at least something, you know, every day, I lose it. It takes him 6 months before he does another gig, and he's just bang straight into
Straight
it.
in.
So speaking of practice, now we're going
Look
to
out.
go on to Marcel,
Okay. Oh.
right? Practice regime, right? Because everybody looks up to you as a guitarist, right? Shannon Bourne asked
Hello,
Marcel,
Shannon.
"What gear are you being? Do you have this
Favorite
evening?"
guitar player, Shannon Bourne.
Yeah, speaking of guitar players,
Shannon, yeah,
this is one out of the box.
Deadly,
yeah.
Yeah, our
He's a
favourite boy.
deadly boy.
Hey, Shannon. Hope everyone's well, bud.
So,
What gear am I using?
yeah, what gear are you using?
Oh well,
The Frankenstein.
actually, you need to tell me what amp we're using because I don't know. What is this amp?
It's a Fender.
It's a
It's a
Fender.
Fender.
It's a Fender amp. There you go. They only made
It's a
one amp.
Fender that's sort of being held together with Band-Aids.
It's all right. Shannon would like that sort of amp.
This guitar I'm holding right now is a Bitzer. So it's just like it's a Telecaster with a Strat neck and Filtertron Gretsch pickups that I put together. Joe's done some work on the electronics, and yeah, it
works.
works.
Beautifully.
It's an MJT body and neck,
Yeah.
Shannon.
Were we going to plug them? Well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They're in
They're
America.
really expensive now,
And they're
anyway.
really dear.
You can't get them.
But
But
yeah.
I actually want to get it's on the cards. I want to get a JLF, Jason, the guy that you should get on the show.
Yep.
I want to get one of his
Guitars.
I think that's
he
the
really
next.
is starting to nail it.
I want a
now.
Delm as well. I want
Yeah.
one of those.
Oh, mate, I was blown away with
I
the
want an
Delms.
arch top. I want one of
The arch top
I
was
wanna get one of those.
mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing.
I've heard Joey do a little demo on those, and I'm just like, oh, dude.
Yeah, but
So
to play
lovely.
it, just the neck, the whole thing, the way it feels, it just you hug it and you
Yeah.
want it, you know.
He's a lovely
So,
guy. I met
yeah.
him at his wife came up to me. I was filling in for a band doing an Italian wedding reception or something
Yep.
somewhere in the city. And his wife, you know, she's dancing and going for it and all that sort of stuff. And then, I'm just playing, and she came up and goes, "My husband builds guitars. You know, are you Marcel?" And I went, "Hang on a minute. I'm in the middle of, what? Hey, what? Who?" And then we got to talking, and it was Michael. Yeah, legend bloke.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Really nice guy.
Yeah, lovely.
Really, really nice guy.
I find that the ones that have got the passion to do something, be it build a guitar, play guitar or bass or woodwind, if you're passionate about it, you're usually pretty good.
Yeah,
It goes a long way.
yeah, it does.
I think we need
So
to
true.
I think we're being ordered.
We're being told what to do.
Yeah.
We've got this screen in front of us over here, and Pino writes messages. Some of the messages we can't say.
Yeah.
But like right now, he's saying we've got to go to a commercial. Actually, you didn't put an exclamation mark after that. So we're going to go to a commercial, and we'll be back very, very shortly.
Yeah.
Sound Studios has been operating since 1983 and is faithfully servicing the music industry. With spacious rehearsal rooms as well as the main auditorium that can be used for live recordings, videos or gig simulated rehearsals. At GM Sound, we offer a fully licensed function room for hire. Whether it's a birthday, anniversary or a private gig, we cater for all your needs and requests. The function room has great surroundings and room for up to 130 people. Bookings are essential. GM Sound has a fully fitted recording studio run by our in-house producer engineer Chris Gatz, who is establishing himself in the industry as a gifted operator. We also have Joe Yamounni, who has opened a sales service shop called GuitarWorks. Located inside GM Sound Studios, GuitarWorks will cater for all your repairs. GM Sound has ample off-street parking, coffee and tea making facilities, and a fully functional bar available to all our clients. Check out our Facebook page for up-and-coming events. Overall, it's a great hang with quality staff at hand. For further inquiries, call GM on 9359-6799 and see what the North has to offer. Remember, don't go round and round. Get down to GM Sound.
Did you do that? Did you do that commercial?
Sam Milan. Absolute natural.
He came in last week because Pino's actually been asking for like an ad for ages.
Yeah.
And we thought, well,
about a year and a half. Actually.
all right, a year and a half. Calm down, mate. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Pino, how long did it take for you to get the Yamounni boys on? I'm on my third show.
Okay, you want me to say that?
What about Joey Menta?
Well, the story says that I've been trying to get these guys for about a year and a half, and Will comes on his third show, and he's already got Joey Menta, Marcel, Yamounni, and even got GM Studios to do my promo.
We've got some big names coming on. So, and look, for me, we were discussing this at Pizza before.
Yeah.
My aim is to educate the new generation with what the old generation have set up for them.
Hell yeah.
Because if it wasn't for the older generation, the guys that have done their stuff, there wouldn't be the industry that it is. And Melbourne, I'm going to a seminar in April. I can't remember the dates, but it's a global seminar, and it's called Music Cities, right?
Okay.
And this is talking about how the music industry is doing in certain cities. Now, it's the first time it's being held in Melbourne. Now, this particular thing is talking about how Melbourne has got more gigs per capita than LA.
Yeah, I believe that.
And stuff.
Per capita, yeah.
Per capita.
Yeah.
Sure.
Per capita.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because we've got a lot of venues that have got live bands. Sure, you might be making $20, but it is that sort of.
You don't need to live, do you?
No,
You need to eat and live and
But
pay
then
bills.
again, it's the same in LA.
Yeah,
You know?
very true.
How many times do you hear stories of guys like Larry Carlton or those guys playing in one of those clubs where they're playing for tips?
Yeah.
And they make good tips, but they're playing for tips.
Yeah, it's the thing when they're off tour. I think they do those gigs to keep their chops up and maybe work out new material and
I've got
they put the gig on themselves. That's another thing.
I've got a mate of mine who was in LA years and years ago, and he said he just went for a walk down the strip, and he walked into this venue and he looks at the stage and he goes, "Oh, okay, this Satriani." So, and he paid next to nothing to get in. He's walked in, and then Steve Vai gets up, and then crazy. All these monsters just got up and started jamming, and it's like, wow. He's going, man, I had a lesson and a half.
I bet.
Just the he said, I wanted to go home and practice.
Yeah, that would be inspiring. Well, either make you quit or make you,
Yeah. So speaking of practice,
yep.
With your practice regime, right?
Yeah.
Now,
okay.
Look, I haven't picked up the guitar to practice for a long time. So yeah, but with regards to your practice, right? Do you sort of do your like a regimented practice routine where you sit there and do scales and so on throughout the day, and you go, okay, I'm keeping my chops up, I'm going to push myself to the next level, or do you just go, crikey, got a gig coming up, got to learn those tunes, get those tunes down, I'll roughly work some stuff that I'm going to solo over, and off I go?
It's a good question, because I mean, I've got to be kind of I can't sort of say that I don't do the second thing that you just said, whereas, you know, I'll just pick it up and play it when I have to learn something. But in the early years, I mean, I slept with this thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, 8 hours a day of practice wasn't anything for me. I'd do more than that. You know, I'd take it to the bathroom with me, you know, like do it, you know. I think now, I mean, I've got a guitar next to my bed. That sometimes when I'm really, really super duper tired, that's usually when I hop on the guitar and play, and new stuff comes out because I'm, you know,
you're on the other side of it.
Yeah, I'm like, it's a stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
I'll practice if I've got like a big kind of gig coming up. Like with that material that we were listening to before, that record, I mean, that record's 7-8 years old now.
Yeah.
But when I was recording that, I was practicing a lot, because to pull that stuff off, you got to be.
There's a lot of
on
chop in that. Yeah.
Song in particular, New Beginning. Like, I want to do a video for it, and I found the old files, and, you know, in another hard drive, and dragged it into my new stuff and gave it a bit of a remix, and I've started practicing along to it, and it's really hard. That song was always really hard to play live. It requires a lot of, I mean, funny story, just the intro of that song, I probably spent about 3 months writing it. So there was practice in that alone, trying to get that up to speed. And after 3 months, I actually played it to Joe. Because what I would do, this is what I would do. I would play it and go, nah, delete, play it, nah, delete, play it, nah, delete, play it, nah, delete, play it, nah, delete, play it. Like, I would go that crazy about it. Like I said, Johnny set the tone with how it had to be. It had to be that good. Yeah. And I wasn't up to that level at that point, or at least at the level that I wanted to be at for that music to be done.
Yeah.
And then after 3 months, I did it. Joe walked in, just happened to walk in. I don't know, may have been calling me to dinner or something like that, because my studio's at the house. And I go, have a listen to this. And then I just played it to him. And then he listened to it. I hit stop, just the intro. I go, what do you reckon? He goes, yeah, it sounds really good. And I go, really? He goes, yeah. Oh, after 3 months, I go, all right, I'll keep it. So I kept it. So I just stopped.
So you mean to tell me he didn't say, was that hard to play? Because it was really hard to listen to?
It's really...
It can be hard to listen to. I know. That's a Robbie Parolin joke, that one. He used to say, hey, man, is that really hard to play? It's really hard to listen to.
I had a gig with Jerry Fantasis, and he pulled that one. And mind you,
it's a drummer joke.
I pulled out a solo, and I thought that it was awesome. And he turned around and said, we were packing down, and he goes, Will, you know that solo you did tonight? And I go, yeah. And he goes, was it hard? And I go, no, not really. He goes, because it's freaking hard to listen to. And I went, thanks.
Those bloody drummers, they all hang together, don't they?
Yeah. See?
Crash cymbal.
Look at him, crash cymbal.
Yeah,
so we got my cousin Adriano La Rocca in Italy.
Ciao, Adriano.
So Adriano is a tattoo artist in Sicily, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, he's one of the main guys in Italy that does tattoos.
Cool.
So very, very talented drawing.
Another talent, says I.
Another talent. We've got Mick DeLuca from Delm Guitars, who was with us last week. So,
Hi, Mick.
Hey, Mick.
One day, mate. One day I'll get one.
No, they're awesome guitars, man.
Incredible.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
So that's interesting about the practice. Very.
Yeah, I mean, look, with me too, because, I mean, I like I said, I learnt off Joe, but then I went off on my own and did my own thing for a little while, getting into, you know, fusion and, you know.
Well, at that stage, there's no rules. So he's learned he can go and develop his own thing.
Yeah, right? but I never really sat down and went through arpeggios and scales, and not even really music theory. That came a bit later on.
Can you sight read?
No.
You don't sight read?
I don't sight read, but I mean...
You know how to read,
but
you don't sight read.
But I can't... The
dots.
Yeah, the fly shit on paper, if you will.
I used to be able to do that.
Yeah, I used to as well.
But you know what's funny?
You got to do it all the time, though. That's the thing.
right.
I filled in for. I'm going to do a bit of name dropping here, guys. So apologies in advance. But that's what this show's about.
Hold on,
so
you did the hey thing as well. So that was all charts.
There you go. So I didn't even have to say it.
That was all charts.
That was all charts.
Yeah.
I did the hey thing for half a season.
Yeah.
And so how I'd get around that was, of course, I can read the sign go to the top.
Yeah.
Bars,
The map.
The map. Or I can read the map, just not the dots. But when I saw dots, because I'd always accompany it with an MP3.
Yep.
So I'd go, oh, they want me to play that line. All right, so I'll learn the line. And then those dots would just remind me that line needs to be played there at that particular moment, which isn't probably all that dissimilar to reading, but I just couldn't do it off the cuff.
Yeah.
If you put it in front of me now and said, go, do it, I'd be like, nah.
See,
sorry.
there's some...
Even if there was a gun held to my head.
Whenever I have to sight read something like that, and like I'm not a strong sight reader, but what I would do is because years ago when I had lessons off Mark Yamounni, he's the best reader.
My God.
He reads
Forget
everything.
it.
Now we're talking.
You know, I wrote something and I said, you can't play this. And it seriously, when I wrote it, it looked like poop, right? And he just goes, okay, yep, sure. And he goes,
Yeah, right.
Played it, and I went, oh,
Yeah.
okay. But
That's another level, though.
Excuse me, guys.
Go.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm just interrupting there. But
Hello.
how do you make a guitarist play softer?
Yeah, we know the joke. You put a chart in front of him.
how old are you, Pino?
Seriously.
I had to
Yeah,
put
that
that in.
joke's
Are you
as old as
100
the
years
hills,
old?
mate.
I am, actually.
No, but he actually gave me some really good tips. He said when you're looking at the cluster of notes, and he said first thing, don't panic, right? He said, but when you look at
That's
the
like
cluster,
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The first thing is don't panic.
yeah. But he said there's a few things that you got to look at. It's either going to be a scale, an interval, or a double stop or a chord.
Sure.
So he said it's going to be one of those. He said if it's a chord and you can't pick it, just don't play it.
Just don't play it. When in doubt, leave it out.
He said, unless the chord's written on top. He goes, 9 times out of 10, the chord's going to be written on top for you anyway. But then he would say, if it's a scale, just hit that lowest note because you're hitting the first note anyway, and then just run up the scale.
Yeah.
And he goes, and then you got to play the syncopation as close as possible. That's more important.
Wow, comments from the master.
And he said, if you do that, you'll bluff your way through. I tried it; it didn't always work.
Yeah, if you're as good as Mark Yamounni, sure, that's good information. But,
Yeah. So anyway, we're Pino, our producer.
you spelled commercial wrong.
Yeah, he
Pino.
spelled commercial wrong. Let's pick on
I'm just trying to
Pino.
go as quick as I can, guys.
Yeah. Pino's called.
Sorry, were we boring you, mate?
Sorry, did you say something?
God forbid should one talk about guitar.
Let's talk about bearing edges.
Bearing edges.
on drums.
Christian
All right, okay.
Motivo, that's your cue.
Hey, they've
Send
got
us
it.
something.
They got to do something. Go.
Yeah,
Sorry, Will.
we've got to do a commercial, and then we'll come back with a little surprise.
Oh,
Yeah,
surprise.
surprise, big surprise.
I think we surprised Pino.
I think Pino's the one telling.
Il Cantuccio restaurant has been the home for the best drummers in the world, to the likes of Dave Weckl, Dom Famularo, Steve Smith, Dennis Chambers, John Blackwell, and many more to mention. Il Cantuccio has been dining drummers for over 2 decades, with their home style of cooking, especially their homemade gnocchi. So why not join the list of great drummers and musicians that enjoy to dine at Il Cantuccio? With cozy bluestone and neo-rustic decor, Il Cantuccio is the best place to have the finest Italian food, and you never know what famous drummer you can meet. Call Mario for bookings on 9347 9959. Il Cantuccio, 209 Lygon Street, Carlton.
Okay, so all right. Here's a little surprise. I've coerced Joe to sing a song. He didn't want to do it, so
Well, okay.
yeah.
Happy to do it.
But yeah. So what's the song called?
It's a song called Parchment Farm.
Parchment Farm.
We're going to try and attempt to do Johnny Winner's version, which is close to me. something we used to do many, many years ago. Something that we've been doing with the acoustic thing that we've started doing. Not every place, but, yeah, it's just one of those songs. But anyway,
it's an old blues song.
Yeah, it's an old blues thing.
Pino, did you want to mute our mics?
Our mics, yeah.
Yes, I will.
We're preparing for this now.
And you're going to get up and play drums, right?
Sure.
That's why
Yeah.
mute the mics.
We got Mr. Pino Bertolini on drums, kids. So
Phantom drummer.
Phantom drummer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Mike. It's on.
Sounds good.
Ready?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Sit down here on parchment farm. Lord, I'm sitting down here on parchment farm. I'm sitting down here on parchment farm, Lord. Never done no man no harm. Yeah. I'm loading that cotton in the 11-foot sack. You know I'm loading that cotton in the 11-foot sack. I'm loading that cotton in the 11-foot sack. Got a 12-gauge shotgun in my bag. Yeah. There we go. I'm sitting down here on number 9. I'm sitting down here on number 9. I'm sitting down here on number 9, child. All I did was I drank a little wine. Here we go. Gonna be down here for the rest of my life. You know I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be here for my natural life, child. All I did was I shot my wife. Yeah, bad girl she was. Take it away. Here we go. I'm sitting down here on Parchment Farm. Yeah. Nice one, boys. Awesome. Yeah.
That was good
Good
fun.
old Johnny.
That was good fun.
That was great fun.
Yeah. Good fun.
Nice, good, clean, honest fun. And we're back on.
We are back on.
on.
We're
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
back. We're back. We're back. Now, I'm going to start talking to you about some big gigs that you've done and stuff.
Sure.
Because you played with Vanessa Amorossi.
Yep.
And
did that for quite a few years. Very lucky.
And I mean, there's a lot of guys that are listening that they'll be going, oh man, I'd love to play for, one of those outdoor gigs. So I'm painting a picture, right?
Oh yeah.
That outdoor gig where when you look out, you just see shitloads of people, right? Explain.
Oh, okay.
Explain.
Oh, well,
how does it feel?
I reckon the first time that I really did that was in Mainz, Germany. And the guys in the band will remember this gig because it was the first. We were experiencing everything together for the first time, including Vanessa. So it was the last show of the first tour that we did of Europe. And it was at Mainz, Germany. And it was in front of 60,000 people.
Wow.
It was wild. It was incredible.
So that's the biggest crowd?
Oh, I wouldn't say it's the biggest crowd.
Bigger.
We've done bigger ones than that, but it was the first time that we'd done anything like. I'm talking a sea of people. Like the streets were filled, and she was quite big in Germany. Like she was a big star there. So we would often get on the same bill doing like touring around the country with like. Joe Cocker, for example, we became really close friends with the band members of that band, and all gun musos, and it's funny, like we do have a bit of a cultural cringe here in Australia where we don't think we're as good as what's out there. We always, especially America, you kind of think, oh, America's it's America, we're in Australia, what do we got, But they were equally as blown away with us as we were with them. And we were just kids, early mid-20s and going for it, But yeah, that first gig was incredible. But we literally just did it. Like we were that young and stupid that we just went out and did it. And there was no pre-production. There's no the first tour I did with Vanessa, I got told about it 3 days before we left that I was going to Europe with her. So I was picking it up as we were going.
And you were playing bass.
Guitar.
Yeah. Okay. Because you played bass with her as well at one point.
For 2 weeks.
Okay.
So the story goes.
I remember that.
So you remember that,
I remember
right?
that.
So that band, that was a good band too. Right. We basically.
That was with Chickers?
Chickers was Chickers in that? Yes, he was.
Chickers was in it?
Yeah, he was in it. And he was sort of the only one that other than myself.
Yeah.
And Johnny Salerno was in it as well, and Ben Edgar was on guitar. But we got sacked after 2 weeks. We were only on trial. We didn't know. So we got the arse, and then she got her original band back, which was Rod, Dave Matthews, Chickers again.
Gary
Dallio.
Yeah. Was Gary in it? Yeah, he was. He was in it. And Louis Schiavi. Gary and Louis were add-ons at that point, but they stuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Johnny and I and Ben Edgar got the boot, more or less, and the other guys that were in the band. It's fun. I can say that now because those guys are monsters and they've gone on and done so many. Ben's like one of my favorite guitar players, and it's hilarious that he would even get the boot from a gig. But he's the most sought after, incredible guitarist. Anyway,
but you're not getting the boot because you're playing. You're getting the boot because of other politics.
Yeah, well, because they wanted to trial another band after us before they went back to the original band. So I think Vanessa just put her foot down and said, "No, I want my original band back." So she was loyal, fiercely loyal in that regard. So we were just the new guys, but the guitar player landed a job that was paying him, $100,000 a year, and he couldn't go on tour with Vanessa. He just couldn't do it. So he had to give it. He had to give it up. He couldn't do the European tour, and he dropped the bomb on him. 3 days before. So I get called back, and my longtime friend, Mr. Paul Ceccanelli, who I was in my first band with, called me up, and I actually said no. I said, nah, I can't be stuffed. I don't want to get fired again. You can't call me to, And but in the end, I don't know. He talked me into it, and then I remember I went down to Tasmania with the band, and cut a long story short, I ended up kind of doing the whole, it's a little bit different this time around. It feels really, really good. I like this band. I like these people. Everyone's really friendly, and it's a much better vibe, than when we were on trial, And basically the next 7 years I spent touring around the world.
Yeah.
You know, we went all over the place. She took me everywhere. It was great. It was a really great experience being in that band.
I was the stage guy for about
He was
4
actually.
years.
Were you?
Yeah.
We
wrapped him in.
Is that a fringe benefit?
Well, you know
yes
what was
and no.
funny? We could never find one that would stick around long enough. They'd learn,
Or someone who cared?
or someone that cared. And I was
Yeah.
like, you know, guitars are important. I mean, he can set up guitars, and he can tune drums. He can
Yeah.
mic stuff up for you. He can do whatever. He's my assistant at
Yeah.
the studio at home. So,
Yeah.
you know,
That was
we
good
had a
as
guy
fun.
before Joe that we weren't overly happy with. We don't have to talk about him, but you know, and
If
basically
he's listening, he'll know who he is.
the rest of the band were gunning for Joe. We were all kind of like,
Yeah.
can we get Joe, please? Because he did one fill in, and then we were all like, oh, that was great. You know, when you don't have to think, when you can grab your guitar,
and everything's right.
walk on stage, it's
And
in
you know
tune.
it's in tune.
You know, everything's set up great. You know, waters are on stage. It's simple little things. The microphone's at the right height. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just attention to detail.
Yeah.
You're a repairer. You know what it's all about.
I know exactly.
You know,
But
attention
you know,
to detail.
the thing is, they don't know what time you get there, and they don't know how long you've been there.
Yeah.
But if something goes wrong on stage,
They
that's
go
all
off.
they remember.
That's all they
The
remember.
cymbal stand fell over, and everyone's looking at you. It's like,
Yeah, it wasn't my fault, man. That was the drummer's fault.
But yeah,
I'm pointing at you, Pino.
Never.
You know, speaking of that, I went and saw Jerry Lewis. Right, I'm going way off tangent now.
oh my
right?
God,
I went and saw Jerry Lewis. Right?
lady.
And I have to admit, I'm so happy I saw him. It was at the Palladium, and he brought in the drummer and the piano player. All the rest were all hired guns from Melbourne. They were all Melbourne cats and, you know, Sydney cats and stuff that did the whole tour of Australia, right? And there was a skit where they were playing, and they're playing this big band swing, and it's really cooking, it's really flying. And the drummer, you could tell that the cymbal was, I mean, I could tell. I mean, I saw it and I went, it was a setup, right? But he's hit this cymbal, and the cymbal's fallen off the drum riser, right? And Jerry's turned around and he's cracked it. He stops the band, cracks it with the band. He goes, that's it. You know, he goes up to the musical director or the piano player and he goes, I want you to tell your drummer, you know, that blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I've had enough, you know. So the drummer threw his sticks up in the air and walks off like all the other drummers do when they throw a tangent, right? A tempo, you know.
Not uncommon.
Right? And so that he did that. And he walked away and he goes, well, that's it. I want a new drummer. So all the guys in the band just basically got up and walked out the back. And then they showed a camera with Jerry Lewis running out the back. And it's like, you know, he's begging all the guys. He's on his knees. But he walks out and he goes, you know, these guys, I really taught them how this is done. And they all start walking back out again. It was just a great sketch, you know.
He's the best, mate.
what a drummer.
Yeah. So we have to say hi to Mario at Il Cantuccio restaurant.
Hey, Mario.
Hey, Mario.
Hello, Mario.
And Rory Hollingsworth. Thank you, Rory.
Thank you, Rory.
And Will, someone is missing the show, wants to say hi.
Hey guys, you're listening to Guitar Talk with the lovely Will Music on the Muso channel, and my name's Joey Amenta, and I'm absolutely privileged to be on Will's first show. Hope you all enjoy.
Joey Amenta.
The
You know,
master.
he rang me yesterday. He rang me up last night. Hey, Will, you know, can I come on? I said, I've got the boys on.
Clean
tomorrow.
sweep.
Man, you would have loved to have him.
Hey, man, I'm going to get Joey on as much as I can
You
because
should.
Joey he's a bundle of laughs and he's
Love
got
him.
so many stories, man.
Entertainment personified.
I'll definitely have Joey on. So, Joey, if you're listening, how you going, Bello?
We love you,
We
brother.
love you, mate. We love you. So, now, I want to talk to you about some, because I've had them, those repairs from hell. You've got to have one story that we can
Well,
share.
I know I've got several. I mean, the thing is, where do you start? I mean, the way I see it, there's a lot of, maybe not so much professionals, I don't think. It's more the weekend warrior
Yeah.
types.
Amateur
or
guys.
They're always looking for that bargain. So they go, mate, I just bought a Les Paul gold top, you know, $260.
Les Paul or a Lay Paul?
No, the Les Paul's
Hey, Paul.
another. That's another.
You got to tell us
story.
that story, man. That was
Oh.
an awesome
That involves Alex Stachevsky, if Alex is listening.
Alex Stodge.
Alex.
Yeah, hi, Alex.
Hello.
Listening. But no, they go out and they think they bought a bargain, $260 Les Paul, you know. Just need you to just have a look at it and get it playing. Like, you know, I went to buy one the other day. It was $2,900, and I got this for $260. And if you could just sort of look it over, and it's one of those Chinese. We call them Gibsons, not Gibson.
The ones made in USA in China.
USA, China.
USA,
right?
USA, China.
Yeah, so they forget the little dots in between USA. But anyway, I've had those come in, and I go, look, it's a rebuild, mate. I've got to take all the frets out, level the board. You've got a big twist here. We'll have to put new frets in, put a bone nut, which will help. Some real pickups, which will help. Probably some really good pots.
So a new guitar.
Yeah, you know. How much is that going to cost? Oh, probably about $1,000, you know. Well, it's like, you know, so yeah, anyway. But we used to get characters coming into the music shops per se when I was running the retail side of things. And there was one particular one where a guy came in looking for a slide pedal. And he had the northern suburbs accent. Now I'll try and attempt that.
Don't do it. Don't even just.
No. Well, anyway, he's come in. He's going. Oh, look, I want to play like Jimmy Page. Do you guys do the slide pedals? And I used to work at Gallons, and I'll say because it's not there anymore. Gallons in Blackburn. I used to manage that shop, and our old mate Alex Stodgy.
Yeah.
Those of you that have bought a guitar or anything will know who Alex is, you know. He's now working down at GH with Will.
Yep.
Yeah. Runs the guitar department. He was managing Blackburn with lots of people that we've just been talking about tonight. Anyway, the guys come in, slide pedal, you know, I want to sound like Jimmy Page. And I didn't know how to take him. I thought, I'll play his game, you know. So I pretended to look on the computer. And I found a Roland Farquit 007, but it was out of stock. So I said to him, listen, they are available. They're $199, but we don't have them. You're going to have to go down and see Alex. He might have a couple stashed. So when you get down there, ask for Alex. Just tell him this is the model number. I don't know what he can do it for, but the retail's $199. And so this guy would go down with all the info and see Alex, and then 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, I'd get a phone call from Alex going, you. Right? 2 days later, I get a guy coming in. He goes, mate, have you got any Les Pauls? I'm after a vintage Sunburst Gold Top. Hey? And I, like, for a second, I forgot. I went, Alex, you bugger.
You bugger.
You know? Yeah.
A Les Paul.
A Les Paul.
The S is silent, you know.
So, yeah.
Alex is listening. You remember that?
Stodge, you know the day. They were good times. You know, we always had something to say, you know, especially with our co-workers and that. Alex had a particular co-worker that he'd be serving a customer and he's getting right into the sale, and then all of a sudden, beep, beep, the food truck would beep at 11 o'clock. Just hold that thought for 1 second. He'd run out to get his roll because she'd only stay for 2 minutes.
Yeah, because when they're there.
Get your
So
priorities.
he'd leave the customer to go get his sausage roll or whatever it was to come back. I just thought that was funny.
Brilliant.
Yeah. But yeah, never a dull moment.
We're being ordered again.
Oh.
Eno's trying to run a tight ship here.
Oh, so whenever I'm ready, please, Mr. Music. Hey, that's a good pun for a business name, isn't it? Yeah, boom tish. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Now the next song is off. It's off your album, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's called. We're going to play it now. It's called Heart Trouble.
Yeah.
And we've got more gags and laughs and so on coming back. Okay, so call in. I've got some giveaways. So 0412 376 848, and I've got some giveaways. And yeah, 0412 376 848. In fact, you know what? I just had a brainstorm. I'm going to give away a full setup on a guitar.
Oi.
So full setup, and if it means I need to do a fret dress on it because you got fret wear and all that stuff, I'll do that as well.
I'm going to get my phone.
Is that is that putting them? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so now Tuesday night, Eastgate Music on Tuesday the 3rd of April at 1131 Burke Street Q, 7 p.m. has a bass player who's come to town.
Burke Road.
Burke
Road. I'm following what I've been written.
Yeah.
What's written?
No, I saw the error there.
Yeah,
It's a drummer error.
Near
Burke
Barker's Road.
Road.
Drummers can't spell.
Yeah, drummer. Yeah,
Sorry.
That's coming from.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, not Srode. It's got Srode written on it.
What's Srode?
Anyway, we have Igor Saavedra live in Bass Clinic. So who's Igor playing with? Pino, you you're the one who said to promote it. So
I'm going to tell you.
He's actually doing a live performance, and he's actually doing a bass clinic at the same time.
Okay.
So at Eastgate there. I suppose we can get Marcello to give us a call.
Yeah, Margie.
Yeah, come on, Margie.
Call us, Margie, and I'll give you a free setup.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Marge.
Hello. I'm telling you, if it's Marcello Grassi putting it on, it won't be.
No, if Margie's putting it
It'll
on,
be
man.
good.
But by the way, I've got Margie coming in soon
Yeah.
as well. Yes,
Yes.
I've got a few people lined up already.
Marge.
Another legend.
So
He's a good man.
yeah, so
Oh, we got another hello from Matt Fagan.
Hey, Matt.
G'day, Matty. You sorely missed my friend. He was living in Melbourne for a little while.
Another
Yeah.
gun guitar player.
Yeah, great jazz.
hold on, but all the
guitars.
musos coming from Perth back to
Yeah, we've been in Perth. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's one of the smart ones. He likes the
He's gone
lifestyle back there.
yeah.
It's pretty amazing there.
No, it's pretty laid back.
Yeah,
compared
if
to
you're a
here.
laid back cat, which Matty
Yeah.
is,
yeah.
hell of a guitar player.
Great player.
How are you, my friend? Miss our date nights. We'd go and get a few beers and get some food into us and talk guitars all day.
Marchie's just said that there's plenty of food and drinks for you as well. So
awesome.
Tuesday night,
Tuesday night
at Eastgate Music. So you know what? I'm going to go. Who's coming?
Yeah, let's go.
You boys coming?
Let's go.
We're coming.
I'm coming.
Tuesday.
So, we got a call.
What?
Let's hope it works.
Hello, you're on Guitar Talk.
G'day. Hey, Joe, it's Steve.
Steve Booth.
Yeah, how you going, Joe?
Oh, well, how you going, mate?
I was just on Facebook and come across you guys.
Oh, well, no, I'm glad you're listening, mate.
Yeah, you should have told me about this sooner.
Well, yeah, it's I'm not great with the social media side of things to let people know.
He's a baby boomer.
I'm a baby boomer, yeah. But I learned tonight how to share things, which is a bit of a breakthrough for me, mate. So what can we do for you, mate? What's going on?
Oh, no, just ringing up to say hello.
Oh, that's great. Good to hear your voice. How's your boy going with his original music?
They're plodding away. He's got another couple of gigs coming up in the next few weeks. So,
great.
Yeah, moving forward, eh?
Steve's boy used to bring his guitars in last year for, just started. Now he's in a band and he's writing his own songs.
Awesome.
Gives you a bit of, bit of hope there.
Yeah. Were you doing something similar like that? You were getting people, some young kids to bring in their music?
That's what we're setting up. I've got my nephew who's already sent a tune in. But I've got, with the school holidays happening, which start this week, I've got a couple of schools that have turned around and said that they're going to get the kids to record and do things like that.
Oh, that's good.
So hopefully,
good idea.
fingers crossed, we'll have some more talent that I'll be able to play. Look, I just want to promote the young talent and bring in some of the guys of the Cats and stuff and just make this a show that everybody's, doing.
You'll have to get the boy to send something in, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Definitely. I'll go chat to him now and get the guys to get something in there.
Now, Steve, I'm going to give Joe what gauge strings do you use? Do you know?
Joe, I want to get that. That Greg Bissonette Telecaster signature.
Yeah. I know the one. Yep.
Yeah, that's still buzzing like heck. I'll bring that down in a couple of weeks and we'll get that sorted out. What do you recommend for the telly to get?
You were in standard tuning, weren't you?
Yeah, I want to tune it down. Do you think maybe, or just keep it standard?
Anything. Well, it's up to you. If you want to tune down, you can go anywhere from standard, which is probably a 10 to 46, all the way up to 11 to 52, depending on how far down. If you want to go into a D tuning. Obviously, a slightly heavier string would be good, so it doesn't feel flabby, Yeah, but that's up to you. It's a personal choice.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. Let's keep it standard tuning, but go heavier strings so we get more tone out of it.
No worries, buddy.
So, Steve, these strings, the Packet D Dario's EXL 110s, they're okay. 1046.
Yeah, they'll work.
I'm going to give them to Joe. You collect them off Joe.
Ah, good one.
Awesome.
Right.
There you go, Steve.
And because you called and you had the guts to do it, I'm going to give you a string winder that's got a string cutter on it as well.
Wow, unreal.
Awesome. So, and these are supplied by GH Music in 100 Mount Alexander Road, Flemington.
Yes.
So, and you can go and see Alex Dodge down there if you want.
Ask him for a lay Paul.
And ask him for the lay Paul, which they don't have any in the shop. But
or a vintage sunburst.
Even better.
All right, Steve, when you come down, I'll have these aside for you, buddy. All right.
Joe.
Thanks for calling, mate. Have a good night.
Good on you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Good on you, mate. Thanks, mate. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Steve.
Bye.
Oh, that's nice of you. Good on you, Will. That's awesome.
Hold on. I've got Margie who's just sent me another message. Hey, gents, I will be Igor Zavidra, also be doing a clinic at Taramara Music on Wednesday evening. Okay, so Wednesday night, Igor Zavedra is doing a clinic at Taramara Music on Wednesday evening.
Taramara's in Sydney, yeah?
That's New South Wales.
New South Wales.
Yeah. So, but we've got people listening. Like tonight, we've got people in.
We're global, mate.
We're global. We've got people in Italy listening tonight.
Yeah, how good's that?
So that's great. Yeah.
How was that?
So,
did I get that right? Ciao. Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you guys have got
Lebanese
background, right?
Yeah.
Now, the amount of Lebanese guys I used to go to school with, right? I mean, it was funny because they would bring in their like traditional lunch, right?
Swapping meals.
And we were swapping.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'd have my mortadella sandwiches,
yum.
with salami and stuff. And they go, hey, will you swap? Oh, yeah, we'll swap. So we would swap.
So you get some kabi or some tabbouleh.
All
that stuff. All the good stuff.
All that stuff.
I'm a bit older than you guys. St. Teresa's Essendon back in the early 60s, late 60s. I used to bring my Lebo bread with salami and cheese in it and just get the shit beaten out of me. Because they'd look at me and they'd go, what the hell are you eating?
Isn't that the whole premise behind Wog Boy?
Wog Boy, yeah.
Wog Boy.
I did that on a school camp once. I actually brought, because we were backpacking, right? And I brought 2 salamis, salada biscuits, and a knife that was about that long with a cutting board, right?
Nice.
Now, the letter had said no knives, right? So I brought this big knife. Anyway, what we had to do was we had to walk and go to these trailers that had our food on the trailers. So we get to the first one, and the group before us took our rations. So I'm sitting there going, I'm fine, man. I got my salami. I don't care. So here we were sitting in the tent, and I'm cutting salami with salada biscuits. And the teacher got wind of it. And the teacher turns around and goes, right, boys, that's it. I want those salamis, and I want that. You're not allowed to have a knife. I said, you come anywhere near me, and I'm going to stab you. And I said, I'll give you some salami if you shut up. And he goes, okay.
That'd work on me too, don't worry. You can bribe me with salami. That sounded really off then, didn't it? Anyway, but yeah, I mean the food, not peanuts.
So listen, I just want to say something.
Okay.
Every first Thursday of each month, where my shop is,
are we doing a plug?
I want to do a little plug.
Okay,
if that's all right.
You can do your plug.
It's guitar related.
Yeah.
We have what we call Fake Fridays at GM Studios. It's on a Thursday night, first Thursday of each month, and it's a jam night. So anybody and everyone is welcome to come. There's a kit set up. It's all mic'd up. Amps are set up.
Stage, lighting,
the whole box of dice. Yeah. You can get your photos done. You can get up there and do a band promo, whatever you want, really.
It's good fun.
There's a bar, fully licensed bar, food going. George puts on a beautiful night for everyone. Everyone gets a fair chance at it. And, yeah, you're all welcome to come.
Cash only.
Cash only, no FPOS.
Yeah, wogs, mate. We can't.
Yeah. He just will not do FPOS, folks. So if you want to drop your card over the bar, it ain't going to happen. So bring cash. But apart from that, it's a really, really good night. We've been doing it for quite a few years, Yeah. And it's been really good because now we're starting to change the format a bit. We're talking about maybe putting an established band on to play for half an hour or so to kick the night off. And then people just get up and play with whoever.
Yeah.
So it's really good. We've had some really great nights there.
Yeah.
So that's something we do.
While we're plugging, if you don't mind.
Don't plug.
I'm in a new band. It's called CC Feels. Don't ask me what it means. Well, you can ask me what it means, or you can ask the band what it means. But
you have to go down and listen to the band.
They couldn't register CC Rider.
CC Riders and the Riders.
I'm still waiting for that drum fill.
Look out. God, Pino. There it is.
Ooh.
20th of April at GM Sound. We're actually doing our first gig.
Cool.
There with Jasper's Dilemma, which is another band from the 90s, which features Chris Gatz from
the in-house
GM.
engineer.
So it's a bit of a family affair, but I've just joined this band and I'm having a great time. And it's not a fusion band or anything like that. It's a rock band with vocals and
original stuff.
All original.
Yeah.
Formerly, the band was called Virtue, and now they're called CC Feels, and I'm on board with that now. And
what are you playing with that?
Guitar.
So
Ali, our guitar player, singer, Glenn Cav on bass, Spider on drums.
From Electric Mary.
And many other bands. He's actually he's in a lot of my favourite Australian bands. So, but yeah. So it's a lot. I was a fan of the band before I joined.
Yeah.
And so we're writing all this new stuff, and it's a lot of fun. So 20th of April, about 8:30, I think, at GM Sound.
Yeah.
13 Onslow Avenue,
Campbellfield.
That's across the road from Ferraro
Reception.
You can tell I'm Italian. Yeah, I've done a few gigs there. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now you guys are putting you guys are working on a new project called the Moon Brothers.
Yes.
Well, it's funny working on it. Yeah, okay. But
Where'd you get the name from?
I wonder.
I hope it's not a bad moon rising.
Oh,
sorry,
that's a
Could be.
typical drums joke.
Nino again with you.
Nino.
Christian Nativo, where are you? call in and give us some questions.
Bearing edges.
I reckon we should do a night where we have, those things where you throw the ball and we get a drummer to sit and you hit the target and the drummer falls in the water.
Yeah, you'd be up for that, Pino.
Do that. Would you do that, Pino?
We could do that at the next GM Jam night.
Oh, well, we can do that because the way you guitarist play, you wouldn't be able to hit the sign anyway.
Okay, pal.
Tell us about the Moon Brothers.
All right, I'll take this one. So I've been asking Joe since he pretty much retired from music to kind of get back into it. And look, admittedly, there's a bit of a story behind it. Anyone that knows us would know that, we were looking after our mother for 20 years. She passed away about 4 years ago. So now I'm sort of, it's a good time to kind of get back into music and all that sort of stuff. He's got time to do it. And also it's a bit of fun, like we're actually enjoying. I really enjoy playing with Joe because we get to do rhythm and blues, but we also get to do the non-standard kind of covers. It's not necessarily, Horses by Darryl Braithwaite, which is a fantastic song and I love it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Even though it's Walter Becker and Ricky Lee Jones. Anyway, I digress. I digressed then. But like the standard songs that every cover band does, we're still in that gold 104 kind of bracket with our music, but it's not the stuff that you hear all the time. You know what I mean? But if we start playing, you'll know the song, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Apart from the one that we just played with you before, no one knows that song unless you're a Johnny Winter fan.
Well, everybody knows it now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Those that were listening.
Yeah.
Oh, we got 10 minutes
10
left.
minutes left. 10
all right,
minutes
we got
left.
a jam.
The man has told us 10 minutes.
Stretch it out. No.
It's been really, really good for me. To realise that when you're passionate about something and you have to make a life decision when you're not expecting, your life throws you curveballs.
Yeah.
You don't know when they're going to come. In my situation, it came, I looked at it and went, I have to do this. And I took away something that I was passionate about and didn't do it for a long time.
Of course.
Being music.
But getting back, he was, dude, come on, let's play.
I was pushing him for years.
Right. I was never right about it.
I remember because pretty much the first band, like professional band that I was in was with Joe. I used to go and watch him when I was 13. He'd be playing at pubs and they'd sneak me in and I'd go and I'd watch it. I'd just be in awe of the whole vibe.
Yeah.
And I love that music, rhythm and blues, rock, that kind of thing. So, I just want that feeling back. I've done some amazing things in my life. I've worked with some really great people and I'm truly blessed, #blessed, but yeah, it's nothing quite like jamming with your bro, We've got a connection.
There's a connection there, no doubt about it.
So,
and anyone that's got a sibling in a band would know exactly what we're talking about. There's a communication thing. And then when you hear it from your peers, when they come up to you, like back in the band days, they'd say, it's great working with you guys because there's this connection we can see that you're ready to move here. And it's a gesture or a movement and he knows something's about to happen.
So we're slowly getting back into it. So I'm doing all the acoustic stuff. I've got like a,
loop thing.
Well, it's funny. My acoustic pedal board is bigger than my electric pedal board. There's so much stuff on it, but I do it to try and fill it out. I'll play rhythms on the guitar,
drums, bass, and guitar.
Yeah.
So you're looping and doing all that sort of
filling
stuff.
it out. And I try and do it really quickly. I don't like dragging on.
Yeah.
I'll do a quick beat and then into it, and then he starts singing. While he's singing, I'm looping maybe the verse or I'll loop the chorus, and then I'll give him a bit of a break and then I'll do a bit of a solo.
So when you guys are ready, will you come back and do that?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, he's waiting on me. I'm the weak link at the moment.
Oh,
but
hardly.
I'm enjoying it. I mean, finding the right keys and the match fitness that we spoke about.
Yeah, I know.
Very important, guys.
Yeah.
Those that are listening, guitar players out there.
Well, we're all working on it.
We're all working on it. Trust me, I am too. The match fitness is
No
really
carbs.
The
important.
match
No
fitness,
carbs.
but also the match fitness that we're talking about is like there's one thing of playing an instrument, but then there's one thing of playing an instrument all night.
Absolutely.
That's the match fitness that we're really
Absolutely.
talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there are guys out there listening that know exactly
Yeah.
what you're saying.
so it's more than just like how many players I've seen that they've got chops galore, and you're going, wow, but they can't do a gig.
Well, they can't do a
'Cause they're
3-minute song.
It's like they flash everything they've got.
Yeah,
in that one section.
in that YouTube clip, you know what I mean? They've got that
It's
the
like
one
that-
lick down or the 1 minute of
Yeah.
but can you play in a band? I saw that recently actually. I saw that a pretty prominent guitar player in YouTube fame, and then I actually watched him play in a band, and I just kind of went, not really doing it. Like on his own, killing, like unbelievable. But in music, not so much. You know what I mean? So it's all very good and well to kind of, run up and down your scales, but you got to find a few notes that kind of sing.
Find the one that you like.
Well, yeah, but trying to get a bit more mileage out of less notes.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Delivery.
Yeah.
And delivery, of course. And, anyway.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Basic stuff.
Yeah. I've got Pino writing stuff, and he's written on the board that I better plug the other shows that we have as well on the Muso channel. So on Monday nights we have Drum Talk with Pino Bertolini, and that's at 8:00.
I'd love to be a guest on Drum Talk.
I heard there's a bit of a wait, buddy.
What are you doing Monday night, Marcel?
This Monday night, I think I'm washing my hair. No,
aren't you defleeing the next door neighbour's cat?
defleeing.
You could bring Joey and Menzel with you.
Oh,
And on
drummers would love that.
On
Anyway,
the
sorry.
17th of April at 8 p.m. we begin the show on the mic, hosted by Vocal Arts Studios, and that'll be their first show.
Cool.
So, and then on Wednesday nights, and that's with Liz and the team at Vocal Arts. On the Wednesday nights before Guitar Talk, I can't remember the name of the show. Can Do Radio at 7 p.m. Oh, he wrote it up on the board. See? You're pretty good, Pino.
One step ahead, mate.
You're one step ahead of me, mate. And then then of course between 8:00 till 9, but it's actually past 9 at the moment. But that's simply because I have two awesome guests here with me tonight.
In amongst good company here, folks.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We really enjoyed it.
And I'm looking to bring on some more guys that, like, even some guys that you guys will recommend to me.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I'll give them a buzz. And
no worries.
if they're listening tonight, don't bite.
Actually,
no,
there's a few guys that come to mind. I'd like to see Shannon Bourne if he's still listening.
Oh yeah,
I think Shannon, you should come and promote the new album. Be fantastic.
yeah, he's got a new album. It's an atmospheric, very haunting, amazing. Yeah. And the thing is, he can chop heads off. Don't get me wrong, but this is even deeper again. It's what we were talking about. You can really just pinch that one note or fewer notes and just make it really sing.
Yeah,
I love that stuff.
Aaron Chambry's another one.
Oh yeah.
Chambers. Chambers would be good.
Aaron would be
It's
great.
the rock and roll.
Yeah.
The angriest young man in show business.
Oh, yes. And all you need to do is message us on the Muso channel. So if you know anybody, if you know any musicians that you feel should come on the show, message us on the Muso channel Facebook page. If you know any kids that have got some form of talent, even if you record them on your phone or something like that, just get a recording of them.
It's pretty awesome.
And then after that, with all the technology we've got, it's pretty easy to do these days. If you can record them and then send us a copy of it, and then, we'll listen to it. And look, if they've got something like, the last thing I want to do is embarrass someone. So if they're not up to it, I'll communicate with you and try to get you up to the speed so that it's going to sound great and we can actually promote a new young talent up and coming.
That's great.
So, and what else was there? I've just gone blank.
Yeah, Well, yeah, I think you pretty much said it.
I have, haven't I?
Said everything.
Hey,
Yeah.
Will, who you got next week?
Well, Pino, I was relying on you, and you roll in your seat. I was relying on you to get someone, and you've let me down.
I do apologise. It was my fault.
And you've let me down. But I have a couple of people that I'm going to talk to.
It's a surprise.
So there will be someone on, and I don't know who
It might be a
is
drummer,
yet.
but it doesn't matter.
No. Yeah, no, but I'll definitely have somebody on next week. So I don't know yet. I'm talking to a couple of people to see who's available, and Joey's not available because he rang me last night.
He was available tonight.
He was available.
I think it was a bit hard. He may have been a bit heartbroken, mate. He wanted to go for 3 in a row.
No, I said to Joey, "You're going to be my wingman."
Yeah, right.
And he goes, "Yeah, I like that." And I went, and you can imagine him saying that too.
Totally.
He goes, "Yeah, man, I'm into that." And I said, "All right, done. You're my wingman. I'll get you on." I said, "If I'm sick, I'll get you on. So you'll be the man who does the show."
So that'll be something that you'll have in common with Countdown.
Yeah, with Molly.
Yeah, okay.
He filled in for Molly.
He filled in for Molly with Countdown.
I'm going to get a Molly hat.
He was a big pop star, mate.
He
Don't worry
was.
about
I
that.
know.
He's
I
a
know.
bonus, mate. The stories that guy, I will live vicariously through Joey Menta any day of the week. I love hearing those stories.
I don't think there's anybody out there that can story top him for starters.
No way.
No.
The guy is a bona fide rock
He
star.
has got some
Been
of
there,
the
done
best
that.
stories, man. The absolute best stories.
Just fantastic.
So, yeah. But if anybody wants to give us a call, give us a call. I gave you the number before, so you should remember it.
Hang on, I do. 0412 376 848.
Oh, very good, Joe.
Oh, Joe, you're
Very
awesome.
good.
That's pretty good. You did a really good job of sort of sweeping the screen.
That was
pretty good. Awesome. Yeah, so basically next week we'll have another show. I don't know who's going to be on yet, but I'll definitely have someone on. The coming weeks, I've actually got... I'm going to just give you a heads up of some people that are coming in. So... on the 11th, I have Marcel Grassi coming in, who's going to talk some stuff, and I've known him for years. Then after that, I have
Look out,
Robbie Little. Yeah,
champion man.
And then I've got Joe Occhipinti. You know Joe?
Yeah, I know Joe.
Joey.
Yeah.
Joey's coming in. That's going to be on Anzac Day. Actually,
You didn't tell me Joe Occhipinti was coming in.
Hey.
You didn't tell me Joe
That's in the next boardroom meeting that we're having. Yeah.
Do you have a problem with that or something, Pino?
Sorry?
Do you have a problem with that or something?
No, I don't have a problem with that, actually.
He's a
I know
lovely
Joe-
guy.
He's a lovely guy. I know Joe well.
And then after that, on the 2nd of May, I have Brendan Haynes coming in. You guys know Brendan?
Yeah. Moons
Now,
ago.
Brendan played with Robert Fripp.
Frippatronics.
And I'm going to see if, because when we spoke, he said maybe not this time around, but I'm going to see if it's possible to get his guitar crew in. And they're going to play some Robert Fripp stuff.
Right.
Because
That would be
they,
Dave Kitaway.
Yeah, I believe
Dave
so.
Kitaway and-
They are mind-blowing, you know.
Lee Underhill.
Lee Underhill and
Who's the
Dave.
bass player?
They used to all teach at Main Street.
Yeah.
When
That's why we
Tony,
know
when
him.
Tony bought the shop that week, they hung around for about a month or two, then they moved on. But Dave stayed behind.
So their guitars are like,
They're all
because
they're all
this show's
tuned.
called Guitar Talk,
Yeah.
we should probably talk a bit about
guitars.
guitars.
Yeah.
But they're tuned to fifths, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So Tom
Yeah.
Quayle's another guy.
Yeah.
He's a British-based guy.
And most of the guitars
He's
are
incredible.
ovations.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Not acoustics?
Old ovation
As in-
acoustics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Most
Okay.
of the guitars are old ovation. And I just did a repair on one of them, and it was trashed, right? It was wrecked, right? Like there was like chunks of beer on it, right?
Wow.
And
Pino, were you playing that guitar?
Brendan was telling me that this particular guitar did the tour with Robert Fripp, and Robert Fripp would go in, and these venues that they would play at had chicken wire in front of the actual stage, and Robert Fripp would go in front of the chicken wire and tell everybody, throw your beer bottles at it. So everybody would throw the bottles, and they'd break and shatter beer and glass and all that sort of stuff on the band, right? And this guitar, it still had that stale stench of beer from
delicious.
those days, those old days of, you know, Robert Fripp touring,
stuff.
you know. So anyway, so there'll be some stories like that in the coming weeks. So
wild.
Yeah. So
he might get a couple of Bowie stories out of that one when he went and played on Heroes and that, because that's his guitar in the background.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, Brendan even played with Nathan East.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He did. He played with Nathan East. He went overseas and did a gig with Nathan and his son.
Rob Little is considered Australia's Nathan
East. Yeah, I know.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about the guys.
The guys that set it up.
So he was one of those guys for me.
Yeah.
When I was coming up, because I play bass as well.
Yeah.
And he was a huge influence.
Yeah.
Rob Little, we're talking about here.
Yeah.
I'd ask him a million questions, you know, and I'd go and watch him play at gigs. I think that's something that a lot of the younger generation need to do. They need to get out there and check out
some of the guys.
Check out the guys who are doing it, and check out the guys that influenced me. They're still gigging. They're still out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He plays.
Some of them work at your local music shop.
He plays his cello was his main instrument. Yeah.
When he told me that, I flipped out.
Yeah.
I remember going to see the Peter Couples band. This is when Fear of Thunder first came out. Virgil Donati on drums.
That was a serious band. David Hirschfelder,
Robbie Little on bass, Ross Eagles on guitar. Anyway, they played 2 shows at Chase's nightclub, and Robbie was doing. They were doing everyone was doing their solo towards the end of the night. So the keyboard player does his bit, and then the guitarist. Robbie comes in to do his solo and pops an E string on his bass.
How do you break an E string?
I don't know how he did it, but I was there with Tony Italia, and I'm dropping names here, but Tony Italia from
Is he Italian?
Yeah, from Sonor Drums. So we went down and watched him because he was a big Virgil fan. And I watched Robbie pop a string that night, and he took the old string off, still going on bass, threaded through the E string, and then just wrapped it around however, and he was doing Norwegian wood. And he went, as he got it on, he went, dum do 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 boom, and then kept going.
Yeah, that's Rob.
What, without stopping?
Without stopping.
Yeah,
and I just
right.
went, you got to be shitting me. He did that. That was insane.
Yeah, that's right.
That sounds.
I remember
like
going to see Rob with Tommy Emanuel at the grain store.
Yep.
You know, those were the days.
I saw him quite a few times.
That's when pound for pound we had the best players in the world.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Best players in the world.
We still got them.
Still got them. They're out there.
Hi, Robbie. If you're out there.
Yeah, Rob.
Rob Little.
The man.
Legendary man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wrap it up, everyone.
Beautiful.
You guys, Pino, what's wrong with you?
I just thought I'd let you guys go.
What, were we boring you, Pino?
Are we keeping you awake, Pino?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, gentlemen, thank you for coming.
Mate, our pleasure.
Marcel
Thanks for
and
having
Joe Yamounni. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Actually,
guys.
Joe and Marcel Yamounni.
Yep.
Because
Seniority.
I've been plugging Marcel and Joe. And I said to Joe before, I said, Joe, I'm going to plug you first.
Which is a first, believe me. That's great.
Happy to do it.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming.
Thank you.
It's
Thanks
been absolutely awesome having you, and I'll definitely get you back on. And Pino, thanks a lot,
Thanks,
mate.
Pino.
It's been an absolute pressure working with you again tonight.
Pressure.
Yeah. So there you go. Thanks, everybody. And next week, again, 8 p.m. Guitar Talk. And I'll see you then. Catch you later.